Hello, good evening, Fantasy Goats. This is your Sheperd, JC, joined by the Commissioner Rhino. Welcome to the NFC AFC Championship Recap Show. Holy smokes!
Championship Recap Show.
Holy
Championship
smokes!
Recap Show. Good
Yeah,
Lord. Makes me sad saying that, man.
it's sad. It's a little sad. It's bittersweet sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bittersweet sad. I remember there was a time where I got sad at this time of year. Now, not so much, but look, man, if the wheels continue to turn at the NFL office, they're going to continue to turn here at the Fantasy Goats YouTube channel. Yeah, we're gonna get into the Eagles Commanders game. We're gonna get into the heavyweight title fight that took place at Arrowhead. But first, Goats, we are less than 2 weeks away from the Super Bowl. That means we are less than 2 weeks away from giving you guys a chance to win a free customizable mini helmet. Compliments of our friend from Brainy Bowlers. Visit brainybowlers.com. You can get fully customizable mini helmets, with your logo, any logo for that matter included. Tons of styles, tons of colors, tons of finishes, tons of visor options and face guard options. And really, all you got to do, folks, is like this video, subscribe to the Fantasy Goats YouTube channel. That would be us, by the way. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for viewing. Just give us a comment, pound, subbed, enter for your chance to win this awesome mini helmet again from brainybowlers.com. We will announce the winner on a live stream that Sunday Super Bowl afternoon. That's it. That's it. That's it, Commissioner. I know if you had to get a customizable mini helmet, I have a feeling I know exactly. It would be one of two. It would be one of two different creatures.
Yep.
So I mean, that's very, very obvious.
Oh yes.
One is of course our creature, and then the second one would be the actual rhinoceros.
Yeah, the Rhino Strong logo.
The Rhino show. We don't call you Commissioner Rhino for nothing.
Nope.
All right. So you know what I thought that we would do? I'd like to discuss, or I'd like to review, go over, whichever you wanted to break it down, the biggest winners and the biggest losers of the games. You know, there's only two of them. And I don't want to keep it to just one. You know, because, I could probably name off a couple in each category, a couple of really big winners and a couple of really big losers. But, no strict criteria here, Commissioner Rhino.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
different.
It's a little different. We're going to try to put our fantasy spin on it, of course, because this is a fantasy football show. But of course the two are hand in hand, and we know this. The first game again. I'm sure if you're living on this planet, you saw the game, you know the score. The game was really over for me when the Rocky music went on.
Yeah.
The Commanders did not have a real shot at this game, this contest.
No.
Now 55-23. I didn't
take away 28 points off the turnovers. It's a little closer than that. Because they scored 28 points off the 4 turnovers. Bad turnovers.
It's a lot closer. if you take off 28 points based off of the turnovers, but the turnovers we can't take off.
No.
We can't. And you can't take away the penalties. You can't do that. You can't take away the performances either. But what we can take away, or at least I'll go first here. All right. You can't have a rookie quarterback as great as he's been, as, even a week ago against the Lions, as great as he's been all season long. You can't expect this promising, bright superstar in Jaden Daniels to carry this football team with the likes of just with the likes of another one or two players. It's not possible.
No. Especially not having a running game.
Well, that's okay.
Without
give it. Is that that's one of my losers?
Yeah,
Brian Robinson
exactly.
Jr.
That's one of my losers too. Is no running game. How you can't protect the pass if you can't freaking get the ball running.
I'm gonna pin it down. I'm gonna pin it even further. Brian Robinson Jr. is not him.
No, he digressed from the start of the season to the end of the season. He digressed. I don't know if the injuries or what's going on, but he digressed bad. Because beginning of the season, he was looking like a top 10, borderline top 10 running back.
I mean, I would have to go through the game logs. I mean, like week by week, and yes, he did put in a couple of performances, a few performances, a handful of them that were respectable, decent, above average, but the majority of the season he was not. And in the most important time, the most important game, he's disappeared. His numbers are lousy. This is lousy. So again, yeah, you want to talk about the run game? Well, we might as well just start there. Like what's supposed to be the feature back or the lead back or the dude that is supposed to be the one that's getting the majority of the carries out of the platoon. Because we're going to talk about another platoon with the next game.
If you look at it, Kyron Williams is smaller and lighter than him, and he ran for 100 plus yards last week against Philadelphia's defense.
Okay.
Brian Robinson should have put up those kind of numbers, if not a little bit more.
Well, and that you know what that tells me. And again, this is going to sound like we're going to be bashing and smashing and really laying it hard on the Commanders, and we really shouldn't be because look, they are a season early as far as I'm concerned. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, again, we should be celebrating the season that Jaden Daniels had. We should be celebrating the resurrection of the offensive coordinator's career.
And Terry McLaurin,
the former defensive coordinator, now turned head coach, and what he did to this team. What Jaden Daniels and this offense has done to resurrect the career of one Scary Terry, who's been scary all season. But again, look, let's not take away anything from the Eagles' defense either.
No,
so again, on
they're
paper,
number one defense for a reason. They're freaking badass.
On paper, this was a mismatch going in.
Yep.
This was a mismatch going in. Now, again, you want to take a look at the score and say, God damn, 55 points. What the hell happened? 55 points. Well, okay. Well, we said at the top of the show what happened. You can't turn the ball over 4 times and expect and expect to get away with it. We got.
You're not playing the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Patriots or not saying that they're bad teams, but you're not playing one of those teams that don't have a freaking All-American MVP worthy freaking running back on the opposite team, and a freaking top 10 quarterback and top 10 wide receiver duel.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
No. Yeah, this team, they've got some. They've got a lot of They've got a lot to hang their hat on. Let's just put it that way. They've got they've got a burgeoning superstar. We hope. Let's cross our fingers, because I remember seeing a very, very good rookie season from another quarterback that somewhat regressed.
Okay. Now
let's
the difference between that and this is the offense coordinators. That's the difference. Cliff Kingsbury is not going to have Jaden Daniels have that bomb of sophomore year. He knows how to make second half adjustments.
That remains to be seen. We're going to bookmark that.
We'll bookmark it.
We're going to bookmark that. Remember, this is the NFL.
Yeah.
Things have a funny way of changing in the course of a 12-month calendar.
We have the off season to look to see what his we
could stick we could stick right there if you want to for a quick second. All right, what if hypothetically, and again, I'm going to cross my fingers, I'm going to knock on wood, the Commanders' O-line falls apart mid-season, or all of a sudden, God forbid, knock on wood again, Scary Terry blows out his knee or anything to that effect. I mean, things have a funny, crazy, quirky way of unraveling.
Oh, big time.
Like the Commanders pretty much unraveled yesterday at Lincoln Financial. So big losers we're going to agree on there. There's no run. There was no run game to support or assist to do anything to help this young dude. And
no.
Again, I think
they didn't do anything. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but they didn't do anything. So yeah, you're right. They didn't bring in a 12 personnel set so they could start chipping people, especially knowing that they had one of their best offensive linemen was out. So why don't you bring 12 personnel in?
Yeah,
tight ends. You have two worthy tight ends with Zach Ertz and Ben Sinnott.
Interesting take. I'm glad that you just went there and you just went with the name too. We had a Ben Sinnott sighting yesterday in the NFC Championship. They finally brought on a second tight end in a crazy fake punt, fake scenario that was executed. So it served its purpose for sure. But yeah, you know what? Let's go back to Cliff then. Let's go back to if he thought that they were just going to get by with doing what they did last week against the Lions, yesterday's game damn near mirrors the game that they had at Ford. Yeah. They capitalized on all of the Lions' turnovers. They got extra. They got those additional possessions to then parlay into points, whether they're field goals, which by the way, the Commanders kicked a shit ton of them yesterday. Yeah. All right, I'll give Dan Quinn some credit there as well, being the CEO of the team. Look, let's get the points on the board. We need to put the points on the board. So it wasn't like they were completely out of it from the gate. They were still hanging around until another explosion happened or until Jalen Hurts happened. And then by the fourth quarter is when it just got out of hand.
Big time.
But let's I mean, again, it got flipped on its head. The team got flipped on its head. The entire game script was flipped on its head from a week prior to now outdoors playing against the Eagles. And just to remind the Goats, even before the playoffs started and we were making our predictions, it was okay, if the Lions get the home field advantage, I don't see anybody beating them. But if the Eagles could somehow get the 1 seed and be playing at home, the Eagles will go to the Super Bowl. Well, I mean, I was call it 50-50. Give me a winner. Give me a big winner or some winners.
Saquon Barkley. Low hanging fruit.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer. Yep.
You would think, right? I mean, like I haven't really seen this conversation floating around, and maybe it's because it's like a foregone conclusion. I don't really know if he needs the Super Bowl win in 2 weeks to cement that. He'll probably get it. He'll probably get it in on yards, I would say.
Yeah.
He'll probably get it in with touchdowns. I guess I would have to look at some of the backs that have just made it recently, see where he stacks up. But I would. It looks as though it's a lock. I would love for him to close the door on this conversation, but I have a feeling that we're going to have it a little bit more. No one's really talking about that because we're blown away.
He should be, in my opinion, MVP. He should be MVP this year.
Give him the trophy and let him give him a trophy. Give him a replica. Same medal. Not. I'm not talking about fake. Now, give him 2 awards. Now take the second one and slice up parts of it and dish him out to his offensive lineman.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's another big winner. I can't believe what they're doing, or like how they just have that run scheme executed. It doesn't matter who's in front of them.
No.
It doesn't. And all he needs to do is just make that one cut or follow that one block, and it's a wraps.
And and it's probably not talked about this, but the receivers downfield were blocking good for him too. They block good for him. They're a complete damn team. They all play for each other. I know AJ Brown has this stamina about him, but he's dirty. He blocks.
He has to. They have to, much like how the Rams wide receivers. They have to. Look, for what it's worth.
That's good comparison.
For what it's worth. I mean, you're supposed to. The wide receiver position, if you're not out there catching the ball, you're supposed to be contributing that way. Mm-hmm. Now, not all of them are good at it, and I get that. And I get that. It's not their primary function. It's technically it's not their primary function. Is that they're really skilled at catching the ball, obviously, but the more complete overall wide receiver football player. Yeah, so AJ Brown is out there contributing in terms of setting a block up, or so is Devontae. We know that the tight end Dallas Goedert, veteran now, going to his second Super Bowl. Dallas Goedert, Jalen Hurts. Several of these dudes played a couple of years ago.
Jalen Hurts played a good game too.
Didn't look very injured, did he?
No.
He certainly didn't look injured at all.
No.
Although he may be, still not 100%, but he's not asked to throw a lot anymore. You don't have to, but he still threw for
250, I think.
246, 20 for 28, 1 passing touchdown, and he rushed for 3.
75 yards?
Rushed for 3. 3. Huh? 3 for Jalen, 3 for Saquon. That's 6. The rookie Will Shipley got in the game. Will Shipley averaged 19 and a quarter yards per attempt.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that would have went down, but still. Yeah, look, this team they've got their work cut out for them. The Chiefs on the other side have their work cut out for them too, I would say, because the Eagles are dare I say battle tested as well. I mean, they're kind of battle tested. They won a lot of games this year.
And they've been in championship games and the Super Bowl.
The head coach has been there before. Well, I mean, look, you go beyond that, the front office, but I mean, Howie Roseman really can't be. He's not really part of the game plan. executing of the plays.
He's just not a thank you note to the Giants.
The Giants.
Thanks for letting us have him.
The Giants. Yeah. We're going to talk about another New York team before we get to the next game. Do we have any other winners? Do we have any other losers out of this game at all? Anyone? Yeah, big loser for me again. Not either
the run game. That's.
I'll go and I'll take it a step further. I'll single out one particular dude, whether it's right, whether it's wrong. He's non-existent, and I have a good feeling that they'll be drafting or looking to add a running back in free agency.
Well, this is
that dude ain't it. He ain't it. We see it. We've seen enough of it. We've seen it. Okay, we know what it is. Now we're not asking everyone to be King Henry and Saquon Barkley. That's damn near impossible. But there's a good happy medium as well. This dude's not even Rico Dowdle. Rico Dowdle showed us more this season. Speaking of Rico Dowdle, well, I think he's a free agent, but Rico Dowdle has a new head coach. That's right. We have a bunch of new head coaches were introduced today, Rhino.
Yeah.
And before we get into the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, my God, the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, I figured we might as well touch up on some of the news and the notes. Brian Schottenheimer was introduced today, right? Where's my I have a GIF that I use with the great TD.
Yeah,
I have a GIF. It's the Pinocchio and Geppetto GIF. So Brian Schottenheimer, I'm not calling him a liar, but he's Pinocchio right now. That's all. He's Pinocchio. Look,
it doesn't make sense.
Okay, wait. It makes sense to me.
Okay, football. See. Football ways it does, but I understand why, because Jerry Jones likes yes men. He likes people to say yes to him. There's one person that didn't, got him two Super Bowl championships. He was out the door because he was getting all the credit and Jerry Jones wasn't, and Jerry Jones is a jealous old coot.
Oh, there goes another Saquon touchdown. Oh wait, that's the replay.
Yeah.
It makes sense from the standpoint, like this is an offensive coordinator, kind of like a lifer of an offensive coordinator or a coordinator that
a long time and never gotten sniffed for a head coaching job.
That's right. And for whatever reason, and this is someone
never had an offense in the top 15 either.
And this is a guy that sees this opportunity as really being probably the best shot that he has at being a head coach in this league, for him to now maybe prove that he can be a head coach in this league. Although this on the outside looking in, this is probably not the best situation for that type of aspiration, but he internally probably sees it that way. Like I highly doubt him or his wife or like his best friend is saying, yo, man, Brian, you will never get offered another job if you fail here. Like, I don't know if that conversation's happening.
Now, if he's smart, he'll just be head coach. Hire a good offense coordinator. The offense coordinator play to call the plays. Let him just be the head coach.
You could take that thought and you could put it in your.
I know, it's right here in my trash can. I know.
Because Jane Slater from the NFL Network asked him that question. Are you going to call the plays? He said yes. Yeah. And I shit you not. So the Insiders was on right before they put the replay here. I just heard this about 45 minutes ago. He's going to call the plays. So with that said, we could also talk a little bit, like they showed clips of Jerry and him, at the press conference. Jerry is getting that type of Al Davis
Yes.
Like he's getting older in dog years. All right,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of sad, but whatever. Yeah, this is the perfect man, perfect dude that comes from within, that doesn't need the control, understands the dynamic that's there, and also, whether they're justifying it publicly or not, it's also someone that has worked closely with Dak, and so that's how they're kind of spinning it. Like this is some of the like Dak is comfortable with him. He's comfortable with Dak. This won't hurt Dak, or so on and so forth. So that's Brian Schottenheimer. If I had to give the hiring a grade, I would probably grade that a B minus. Like they got the head coach what they want. There isn't going to be much upheaval. All right, it's like a perfect system head coach now. No upheaval, no Deion Sanders. They needed to. They definitely wanted to make the change out of Mike McCarthy. Well, you know what? I take that back. They didn't want to pay Mike McCarthy any more than what Mike McCarthy was asking for. That's the difference. Like Mike McCarthy, I'm tired of doing this every 2-3 years. I'll take 5 or 6. No, that's what happened there. So in that sense, it's a B minus. They got the guy from within, perfect guy that has to answer to the family, will not be running any personnel. He's going to get to call the plays. He already call the plays. He already knows it's his damn plays. It's been his plays and Mike McCarthy's plays. So it's the same thing. That's why it's a B minus, Rhino. Let's move. Yeah. What a joke I saw this morning coming out of Jacksonville with Liam Cohen. That to me that's a joke. I'm sorry.
His reputation a little bit, hasn't he?
I'm sorry. That ain't it either. Just like Brian Robinson Jr. is not it for the Commanders, Liam Cohen's not it for Jacksonville. I know that he had success this year as the play caller. I don't really think they were all his plays. I don't. Right. It really was. What was he instrumental in? Was he really the instrumental one with Bucky Irving? Maybe. I don't. Again, I'm not taking away anything from the person, whether his football knowledge or acumen. I'm not taking anything away from that. He's now being put into damn near impossible. I don't want to say impossible, but he's being put into a not an advantageous situation. Mm-mm. Yeah. Okay, so I got Trevor Lawrence. Okay. Okay. That's a huge question mark going in. Do you really plan to fix Trevor Lawrence? Can you fix Trevor Lawrence?
He probably thinks because he helped fix Baker Mayfield when Baker Mayfield was with the Rams.
He's not really he's really not getting credit for that though, is he?
No, he isn't, but he's one of the main reasons why he turned his career around.
I kind of feel like this is I think this is just kind of doomed to fail. I think if he would have stayed with Tampa for another season, perhaps he would have gained himself more experience. Perhaps he would have gotten into a better organization, a better company to work for with a better environment. Not necessarily saying personnel. I'm talking about like the people that are signing your checks and everyone else down the line. So I kind of feel like he's just set up to fail, unfortunately. Yeah, look, Doug Peterson, again, his former team, or his twice now former team, is going to be playing in their third Super Bowl in like the last, how many years now? 2007. 5 years, 5 or 6 years. He took them to the first one in 2017. This dude happens to be a above average, would you say? Decent?
Yeah.
All right. I don't. Again, you have. Would you give Liam Cohen a better grade than I would? C. I give that a C.
I'd give him a C. And I think he. This could be a Josh McDaniels kind of thing all over again. You have this really good OC, but can't head coach worth of shit because of an ego problem.
I don't see. Well, again, I watched the press conference, so it was actually the first time that I'm actually seeing reporters asking Liam Cohen questions, and and these are like open-ended type questions where he has to like expand on it and talk about either himself or talk about football. So it was kind of like, these are well-designed questions, and I didn't really get that sense that he had like a bravado.
Right.
Or an ego. I don't know if that'll be the case once he hits the sideline, because now that I'm thinking about it, looking back, seeing him on the sideline, it looks like he's someone that's like in control and in charge of what's going on. But yeah, no, it's a lot different being a coordinator to now being responsible for your football team, for 53 men.
Yeah.
Big difference. Plus, then now we could chalk it up from there to the actual company, the Jaguars. Okay, we got two more. And then we've got the Dynasty playing against the non-Dynasty. Out in Vegas, your team, they not only introduced their head coach, Uncle Pete, they introduced the general manager at the same time.
Yeah.
I found Pete. Look, Pete is still very fiery. He's still sharp. He's still fiery. Again, he didn't leave off well. And there were rumors that, Pete wasn't jiving with a younger management system that wanted to do things in a different way or draft differently. Now, okay, so take that for what it is. And now sitting next to him was this dude, Spytek. Now he could probably be Pete's son if like I really knew the ages, right? And he seems to be the more.
Well, Pete Carroll's freaking 73 years old, so he could be his grandson probably, Or no, I'm just being sarcastic.
Possibly, sure. But he seems to be like the younger, but yet more like he knows his role. He knows what he needs to do. They both know who they're really answering to. Okay, or who they're really working with, or who they're really going to be asking or requesting things from, the GOAT himself. And they made no bones about that either.
Right.
No bones. He walks around with that much cash, and you're supposed to when you win 9 Super Bowls or 7 Super Bowls, whatever the hell it is. Been to 9, won 7. Don't worry, in about 4 or 5 years, we'll be saying the same thing. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes won 7 Super Bowls.
Probably.
And it was very good. It was a good press conference. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who the Raiders. I don't know if there's a better candidate right now for the Raiders.
I don't know, but go ahead. Then I'll just
last point, which I found fascinating. Okay, they are going all in now. They're going all there's no. They said there's no wait period for them, and I kind of feel like they were talking about them, not the organization.
Right.
There's no wait period for these two.
Well, they got enough money, and they got enough money for free agency to do some stuff.
So you heard the culture thing, what it means to be a Raider thing. and they're going all in. Now, what did you want to add to it? Since you are you're a Raiders insider,
I hated it.
along with the Rams.
I hated this hire, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I hold a grudge.
Okay.
I'm big enough to say I hold a grudge. It's not because what you think for. It's because he left USC and said deuces and left him a mess with a bunch of sanctions, bunch of stuff he did wrong, and held USC back for a couple of years. And then plus the fact, seeing his gum chewing ass on the sidelines twice a year playing my Rams, And I'm trying to get over that whole USC thing, because that was hard. That was hard. And then I found out today that he's actually teaching there. So maybe I'm starting now. I'm thinking, well, maybe okay, if USC could, show him some love, maybe I could do the same thing. But I just don't know about the culture thing, because there's rumblings that, as you said, he wasn't getting along. There's rumblings that he played favorites to like Russell Wilson. So, and I just don't think he has the pedigree.
Well, no,
he has the pedigree as a winning coach, but the last 2 years were mid. And his defenses were starting to get.
I'm gonna give him
taking advantage of it, because he wasn't changing things, it seemed like.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt when it comes to the rumblings with Russell Wilson, because then I'm also hearing conflicting that it really not that he was favoring Russell, but
right.
He could that they were butting heads. I'm also going to give the Raiders. I for some reason I have a soft spot for them, maybe even softer than your spot. That having Tom there is enough of a symbol that this is the change. Yeah. This is it. So now, Uncle Pete, you are on your last dance. Not to take it from the Michael Jordan and the Bulls.
I hope he brings in. I hope he brings in younger offensive coordinator.
And I hate to say this also, because it's not winning in the NFL. But even if this man brings them to a freaking divisional, brings them to a conference championship, that'll be considered a freaking win.
They give him this game over 500.
It'll be victory.
Yeah,
and whoever the hell's on that staff, if they don't leave, could then kind of like take the reins over. And a lot of it will have to do with this general manager that they brought in as well, who comes in with a lot of experience. Again, I don't know much about him, but I like the fact that he's been an assistant for a while now. This is what needs to be done now. It is going to be a contradiction, because the Jets just did the same thing, and I gotta kind of put my eggs in that basket and say, yes, this is a good thing, being under winning culture. But the Denver Broncos just started to win again. Mm-hmm. But I think this guy also comes from the Peyton Manning days with the Broncos. So I don't know. Anyway, that would be the next head coach. Oh, why don't we? So, what do you want to give Uncle Pete and the general manager? You giving them C's or worse?
No. I'll give him B plus.
B plus. All right, yeah. Very nice.
I have a grudge, but I'm not dumb.
Very nice, very nice. I think Pete Carroll brings a hell of experience.
Yeah.
Working with this now dude, Spike Tech, working with Tom Brady. They do have personnel matters that have to be addressed. We all know what those are, but I think these guys will be able to get it done. And they're in an unforgiving division too.
And one thing with Pete Carroll being there, players will want to come and play for him because he's well respected in the league.
Oh, without doubt. Without doubt. Last but Aaron Glenn introduced that one jet drive, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Glenn, former New York Jet defensive back.
I'm coming home.
He played here like God knows. He played here 100 years ago. He was a good football player. I don't remember him as a football player.
I do.
Okay. I bet you Greg does too.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe Greg's a little before him.
Greg was before him, but
look, I'm not sold on the Ben Johnson hiring.
No.
As a head coach, just because of the work that he did as an offensive coordinator. I'm not sold on Aaron Glenn as a head coach, just because he's talking about cultural change and bringing in the right people that say the right things. Look, we know what the issue is here, and it's the owner. The owner, if the owner's going to continue to meddle in your affairs, in your general manager's affairs, and not give him an opportunity to just do their thing, run football operations, know the amount of money that they have to work with, not have to ask permission and get denied. It's going to fail. It's going to fail. And again, it's such a Jets thing to bring in a defensive guy too, because I mean that's just what they do. And I think that I would have liked to have seen a difference there. I would have liked to have seen this thing needs to change so much. You might as well change your own culture from within. Change the fact that you want to be such a defensive focused operation with offensive moving parts, obviously, but you want to be a defensive focused team. How has it worked out?
It hasn't.
Last time it worked out was someone that you actually interviewed weeks ago, and he was never getting the job, Rex.
No.
So again, look, Aaron Glenn is he's a B-. He knows Woody. They overlapped for only a year or two. So a lot of people say, yeah, he knows him. They know each other. Yeah, for a year, he played for Woody. He was the first owner, or the owner before him. Nevertheless, I'm not sold on this guy just fixing this organization. Nor am I sold on the general manager, but I want to give them their fair shake. I want to give them their fairness. The Mike Tenenbaum and the 33rd team, they did an extensive search. It took them weeks to hire Aaron Glenn. All right. Aaron Glenn, again, for what it's worth, yes, really good dude.
Players love him.
Respected dude, yeah. I'm with that as well. This fucking defense got torched last week.
Yeah, but they're also banged up though too.
Yeah, I get it. I know. I get it. It's a tough ask for your third string to come in and play lights out. That's tough. That is. I think that would be tough for Steve Spagnuolo if it happened. If Trent McDuffie went down, okay. Trent McDuffie's backup, whoever's behind Trent McDuffie on the depth chart, it will probably come in and do well. But if that dude goes down and you have to now bring up the guy that just got elevated off the practice squad, tough ask. We were pulling for this team.
Yep.
Pulling for weeks. We wanted them. This was your time, Buffalo. You could do it, Buffalo. And they almost did it. Until they didn't do it.
Almost. This is Peyton Manning and Tom Brady reincarnated.
Well, even Peyton Manning got a couple in.
Well, towards the end, yeah. But he also lost a bunch in a row to Tom Brady.
Yeah, I guess in the beginning he did, right?
Yeah.
Look, they had this game in their palm. But then what wound up happening? And I just want to get to him. Come on. I want to get the plays out. Forget the plays. We saw the game. Buffalo had the ball, and they needed to score in the fourth quarter, and they did, right? But they did, and they left too much time on the clock.
Yep.
But it wasn't as much time as I think we were anticipating for Buffalo not to leave on the clock. So, like, in other words, the way we had it envisioned or mapped out in our heads was, okay, Buffalo needs to score last, because if they leave too much time on the clock, the Chiefs will go down and kill them at the end. Well, Buffalo scored, and they left too much time on the clock, but the Chiefs came back, scored, and gave the ball back to Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So Buffalo had enough time around the 2-minute warning, if I'm not mistaken, which I don't think I am.
No, it was like 150. It was a little over 2 minutes, and then by the time the drive ended, it was like 1:45 left, because they were still able to kneel down. Except they had to get one first down, then kneel down.
You saw the expression on Josh Allen's face when the Chiefs got that final first down with Samaje Perine. Samaje Perine, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Samaje Perine. We can't get Brian Robinson Jr., Austin Eckler, or anyone else on that team. Chris,
Rodriguez,
whatever. But yeah, we could get Samaje Perine over here in Kansas City to make his only play of the game, the one that nails it in the coffin. So look at the difference of look at the difference of football teams. And I'm starting to shake the desk, and I'm getting mad and upset. Because, how do you beat this Chiefs team? It's I don't know if the Eagles could do it. I don't. I doubt it. They're gonna give them a really strong run for their money, but still, I don't see how. Look at Mahomes. Just when you think it's a pass play, he kept it himself and ran it in for a touchdown. And not only did he run it in for a touchdown, he knows how to turn his body and hit the guy from his backside rather than maybe dislocate his shoulder the other way.
Right.
You remember that play?
Yards rushing yesterday, didn't he? 75 yards rushing, I think, total.
He had 43. But 2 touchdowns. Kareem the Dream had 17 carries, 64 yards, and a score.
Touchdown. Yep.
After that, it wasn't even Pacheco, third on the team. It was Xavier Worthy and then Pacheco. Big winner, X-Man, has arrived. Big loser. Has anyone seen DeAndre Hopkins? I don't know, where is he?
One catch.
Better check the milk cartons, because look, I know they brought him in here. They I guess maybe they got a little nervous, but they probably didn't get nervous. You know what they probably did? They're like, we just want this name on our team. We're gonna put him on the field for this play, draw all the attention over to where he is, and we're gonna get our young rookie that we drafted, pick 32. Oh, wait, by the way, who'd you pick at 31? Oh, that guy. The other dude that played in the game who, should not have been targeted.
Keon Coleman got picked in the second round.
Oh, that's right, Keon. But Keon Coleman was...
They traded up.
Who traded up?
Kansas City traded up.
To take Xavier Worthy. And they had Keon Coleman.
No, they didn't. They drafted Keon.
That doesn't sound right, but let's leave it there. I want to get to Keon Coleman because he's another loser of mine. But again, how do you beat this team? How do you beat them? They have been.
You can't have they had 5 fumbles, but they got the fumbles back. But those are also lost yardage and loss of downs. Can't do that. You got to. My biggest loser is Joe Brady and his play calling. How do you take James Cook out of the game?
Took the ball out of James Cook's hand.
How? He was balling.
There was one time, and this may not be fair of us, because for every other game it worked more or less to use a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Davis, Ty Johnson, like they all ran effectively, caught effectively. They each had their role effectively, and it worked. But yesterday, this dude was cooking, and in hindsight, no. Let's not take him out of it. Why is he on the sideline? Why are you rotating? Why are you putting in Ty Johnson? And it wasn't third down.
Yeah, and why you keep on going for 2-point conversions when they figured it out? They figured that you can see that even the announcers were saying they know what they're doing, because Josh Allen always does the same thing when they do the tush push. He goes
to the left
guard.
He goes to the left. Yep.
So if
they had it. They had it.
Why is he doing that? He's up top. He's got the binoculars, watching the same thing we're all watching. You're still doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And he's a guy creative mind, but
no, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. There was some questionable play calling here. Yeah, you could give a big L here to Joe Brady. I'm going to give a big L to their head coach as well, Sean McDermott. I mean, look, we were just saying it before. Like, I don't want to slam the Commanders. I don't want to slam the Bills. Like they gave it a valiant effort. They tried. They played hard. They played well for the most part. They had an opportunity. They could have won that game, but and it keeps coming back to the same thing for me. It does. They got outcoached.
Yep. Oh, big time.
They got outcoached. Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, and the entire staff deserve a.
The last play was a 4th down play, and Spagnuolo just pulled up another rabbit out of the hat defensive scheme play. That was a beautiful play call.
That's not something that we haven't seen, though. But he just called it. He called it at the right time.
Exactly. Yep.
We've seen that before, just like we're going to see Corn Dog again with the offense. Motion. That's just motion.
Mm-hmm.
Is what that is. Bringing the wide receiver in, bringing him out. Rather, of course, you know what I'm saying. And I hope the goats do. The goats know what I'm saying. It's just that it's when he called it. Yeah, he was he confused Josh for most of the game. And then for most of the game, Josh handled it well. And the Bills handled it well. But the final score was 32-29. I mean, but it's not like both defenses gave up points here, whether it be off of turnovers, penalties that led to more yards, or getting closer in scoring position. But yeah, I mean, look, the Bills are going to have to answer some tough questions amongst themselves, and I don't mean like Sean McDermott and his staff. I'm talking about the Bills ownership, the general manager are going to have to ask themselves, can this guy beat the Chiefs? Can these guys beat the Chiefs? Okay, if you answer yes, fine. I believe you. I agree with you. Tell me, what do we have to do now? What else?
Get a number one receiver.
What else do you need from us now? What else does it take? We didn't build A new outdoor stadium for nothing. We want this home field advantage for you, but damn it, if you're going to continue to have to go to Arrowhead, you're still going to lose. No. What is it going to take? Yes, we have like the second best quarterback, maybe the first best quarterback in the league right now.
Yeah.
Wide receiver. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. You have this dude that was drafted late first round, early second round. We'll have to check that. We'll talk about that behind the scenes.
Oh, Coleman, second round.
He had no business getting either of those balls. He's not ready. Why isn't he ready? We haven't seen jack from him all season long. Maybe a few plays here and there, not enough. Not enough where he could take on that type. Well, one ball wasn't even catchable.
No.
So he shouldn't have even been targeted on, I believe that was the second one, which was deep in the end zone. Well, it flew over him and McDuffie's head.
Right.
But he was targeted with, he was guarded. He was blanketed by McDuffie. There was no way he was coming down.
That's a tough go for a rookie. You know.
And then there was the one that much earlier that, again, I think the first one was more of a makeable catch. It would have been a contested catch because he threw to him in coverage. Tough to ask of him, and he didn't show up.
No,
there was only those are the two that really stood out to me. He was actually targeted another 2 times from there. After the Keon Coleman play, afterwards, they decided to bring in Curtis Samuel, and he caught the touchdown. That's the difference. Someone like Curtis Samuel has at least been in this league for freaking 7-8 years.
Okay, so you hit Keon Coleman's. How's Amari Cooper not a bigger loser than Keon Coleman? Here you have a veteran, a wide receiver 1 for Raiders, for the Cowboys, for the Browns, and you don't use them. Yeah. You bring him in a situation or whatever it was.
Head scratching.
So why? I mean, you gave up a 4th round draft choice for him.
Head scratching.
And he was supposed to be your missing receiver piece that gets you over the hump.
Says who? Says who? Says us.
Yeah, well, says the talking heads. Yeah,
says us. to the Bills again. That could have been. That's the equivalent of DeAndre Hopkins. We just want him on the field for these instances, these situations. We don't really expect much of him.
Yeah.
Again, we're speculating. But even Khalil Shakir, who led the team in targets, was a non-factor. Mac the Knife showed up.
As he always does, man.
Mac the Knife showed up. Your tight end, your promising second-year tight end was a no-show, and you get a lot of people slammed him, as we saw on Twitter, for fucking dropping the ball. Excuse my language.
You're coming back full speed, diving.
It's
towards the ground to try to catch a damn ball.
It was a tough catch, tough play, tough catch, makeable but tough. Makeable. It was in his hands. But tough. I'm not sure if that was the right. Some would argue that wasn't even the right read. All right, but it's almost
because Matt Collins was right there.
It's almost as if Josh, based on the heat that he was getting, that pass rush and the blitz, everyone collapsed on him. It's almost as if that was his read. Yeah. Without knowing that Ty Johnson was coming out of the flat there, and he still had. I don't think it was. It may have been Shakir that came across the middle.
Yep.
That's it. I mean, Rhino. As much as again we're nitpicking, we're pulling things apart here. James Cook had a great game. He wasn't on the field for every play like he should have been.
No.
You know, they seemed to have been lacking a real number 1 wide receiver.
So like 4th and inches, 4th and 1. Why don't freaking just give it to James Cook and get him on the outside?
You know what? Why don't you just run like the Samaje Perine play? Why?
Yeah.
Where was the creativity? Why? Because you don't have the talent on the team? I refuse to believe that because I don't think like
Especially James Cook can catch a damn ball.
I don't. Well, again, I think that doesn't
and so can Tyron Johnson.
Doesn't that go to play design?
Yeah.
We're going to design this play under this circumstance in this situation for you, Mr. Cook. You ready? Well, you know what? Wait a minute. Wait a second, Joe. Everyone's gonna know it's going to Cook. Okay, fine. You want to? Let's do it with Ray Davis then. I bet you a lot of people don't think Ray Davis is going to get the ball in this situation or Ty in this situation.
Right.
It comes down to the design, and of course the personnel.
Yep.
And then the situation. Yeah, they have tough questions that they're gonna have to answer. They have tough questions. What do we need to do? What else do we need to do? Because we damn near went the distance again.
Yeah.
And we lost by TKO. We got knocked out.
Yeah.
Technical knockout.
Yep.
Oh shit, man. Eagles. Chiefs. Who do you like? Chiefs. Early. Preliminary, you could definitely change from now till then.
Chiefs 31-28. 32.
Chiefs 31-28. Well, I have to stay with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's going to be the same sentiments that I had with the Eagle.
You're giving Steve Spagnuolo 2 weeks now.
It's the same. I'm going to have the same. I want to see
Saquon Barkley.
I want to see the Eagles win this thing, but the Chiefs are going to beat the Eagles too. Because there ain't a damn thing that the Chiefs haven't seen, haven't experienced, haven't been in on the football field that's going to discombobulate them.
Nope, not at all.
You know what else is going on in 2 weeks, Rhino? We are giving away a free customizable mini helmet. That's right, baby. Courtesy of our friend Brainy Ballers. Visit brainyballers.com. Logo included on this beautiful looking helmet. Tons of different colors, tons of different styles, tons of different finishes, tons of different visors. All you got to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel. We will give this beautiful mini helmet away 2 weeks from now, 13 days from now. Remember, fully customizable. All right, we'll be back later on this week or earlier this week. Do you know the schedule? Do you know the schedule this week? Because I don't.
No.
All
Looking
right.
out for some preview shows. NFC preview this week should be dropping. NFC West preview.
Some sort of preview.
Yeah.
And folks, we got the Senior Bowl is underway as well. The Senior Bowl live from Mobile, and I'm sure that we're going to be delivering content for the for the goats in terms of the inbound rookies.
And probably talk about the Shrine Bowl too this week. That's before.
Is that the East-West or is that different?
Yeah, East-West. Yeah.
They changed the name to the East-West.
Yeah, Shrine Bowl. Yeah, they still call it Shrine Bowl, but these are the players. Yeah. So look out for that.
Fantastic. All right, goats. We're going to sign off here. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Don't forget to make a difference. Be a difference.
Be a difference and make a difference.
Be a difference and make a difference.
I'm a little out of it right now.
Goats.